Really welcome, and congratulations on your new post, and the very best of luck with it. You've your work cut out, I think that, and I suppose I would say this from, like, I worked in a Tusla funded organisation for many years, and many of my closest friends work for Tusla. So I would have, huge faith in the reform, and particularly the front door system. I think it's a really good idea, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's being implemented on the ground. One thing I just wanted to ask is about recruitment of staff. Is like, we'll say, for example, if you have a social science background, you can't apply for, so like me, I was applying for a job as a social care worker and I couldn't apply because I have a degree in social science, not social care. Are you missing a lot of people that are very willing to, and are youth workers as well? Like, I have a master's in youth work and I still wasn't eligible to apply for social care because I didn't have a social care degree. Are you missing a lot of people within that area, within family support, within that broader area? I suppose that's one thing I must ask about. And then the discrepancies, again, I'm always talking about this, that still, I think, I'd love to hear figures about reliancy on agency staff, and is there still a lot of people coming from Section 56 workers going to agency staff because they're getting paid better and they're getting increments and they're getting state pensions? Whereas I know that there is the auto-enrolment, and I know there's the 9.25 increase in Section 56 workers, but they're still leaving that sector to go to do agency work because they're getting paid more. And I think not having an incremental pay scale for Section 56 workers is so insulting. And I think, and that was me as a Section 56 worker. So I'd just love to hear more about that, please.
Well, I would just, I will refer to Kate on the operational detail of this, but I really welcome your remarks, and I can only speak from a personal point of view, so I'm not speaking for the agency here. It's long been my belief that that the agency, as do many other agencies and other parts of the HSE, miss people because of particular regulation around criteria. Yeah. And I think we only have to ask ourselves and look back at, where things have been really difficult and where there have been exposés on difficult situations across services. We find that some of the best services in the country are offered by, certain professional qualifications, but some of the worst services can also be offered by people with identical qualifications. So, at a personal level, I would say I think we need to be looking much more in the round and much more resourcefully. Like, for some of some of our young people in special care, it's not enough to have a particular qualification. It's a whole blend of experience, attitude to life, right mindset, a whole lot of intangible soft skills that are needed. Contacts and connections in the community can be absolutely important. So
I see that it's changing. Yeah. And I think even to get on the recruitment, even to get on the portal, you're shut down straight away if you don't have a social care degree.
It's a well-made point for the actual situation. I think.
And it's only just a reference. We have now introduced, in consultation with trade union partners and with staff, a new expanded list of qualifications. And maybe in the context of Deputy Curran's question, because there was a reference to special care worker. Special care worker is a new grade that was provided to Tusla over 18 months ago to recognise the work within special care being different, and so a new pay scale and a new governance structure. But all of those special care workers, and I think it's important to say, have to have CORA registration, or have to be a social care worker with CORA registration, or can have now one of the expanded
social
qualifications in terms of social science, in terms of youth work, but they have to have a level 7 qualification.
And does that apply the same for social care workers or social care leaders? Or,
so obviously within social care, it's now a protected CORA registered profession.
Right.
So, I think that's very important to recognise. Social work are a CORA registered professional. Social care is now, since the end of last year, a registered. So the title of social care worker, or social care worker, is registered. So it's in the expanded qualifications that we will be able to employ people with different backgrounds, different degrees, which is really important.
But I think you're still missing a trick though there. Even that people might have.
But they can be employed as their own profession working in the services.
We'll say like youth work.
Yeah.
Within the sector, but they can't be employed in social care.
They can't be called a social care worker if it's CORA registered.
And then also I just wanted to ask, I suppose, about pensions for foster parents. How is that? Like, they're still not entitled to a contributory pension, and I like that. And I just want, I suppose, that has been raised over and again in my previous job.
Kind of straying away from, our policy discussions with the chairperson. But if you can frame it differently, I think it'll be okay.
So the colleagues in the Department of Social Protection are looking at this. So this is an issue, as you say, that has been raised several times.
Yeah.
And I don't think there is lack of support or agreement around the issue. It's about moving it. So they're actively engaging in this at the moment. We're hoping for a positive outcome.
And just going back, I suppose, to the reliance on agency staff, do you see that there's people being removed from the frontline services are going to agency staff because of better pay? I don't know if Kate, maybe that's you again. Sorry, no, that I should be directing
No,
at you.
that's
Madeline.
okay. It is strategic in terms of us, in terms of our workforce. I think it's really important to say, like the chair said, we've never had as much social workers within the agency. Our retention has gone up by 1.5%. So now we're up to 95 and 96% of staff are staying within Tusla, so a significant increase in that over the last 3 years.
Would they be staying for how long would they stay for? Is it
different periods? We've blocks. So in terms of the overall retention figure, we obviously are able to break it down by age range and career type, but it's a good news story. I think in terms of agency, we set ourselves a limit for agency usage that we would never employ more than 250 people through agency in a year, and we really have never gone over I would say 210 to 220 over the last 3 years. So our reliance on agency is reducing, and obviously there's an ongoing recruitment campaign to convert our agency staff, but some people choose to work agency because of maybe the flexibility in hours or different services.
And I suppose just as a broad kind of over thing, how would you think the front door, like what would you say, Madeline, is going to be the biggest impact for the new system? What would you see it as the biggest positive impact?
I think
maybe for children, actually, like for children and their families. What would it be?
For children, that's always the best way to look at. That's the best lens, I think. I think being able to meet somebody and not have to work out yourself. I have this particular issue. This is my situation, and I have to find how do I start. So I think the single front door policy initially will be the biggest impact. Longer term, I think the direction of resources and the balancing of resources, so that we can look at those issues like, okay, it seems fairly clear where we have better early intervention, better family support investment, we have less crisis, less reliance on crisis. So I think it will inform investment and policy decisions as it goes along. But for children and families, I would be hoping that they get a better, quicker, cleaner response and a better fit for them.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, a better fit, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great, thank you.
Sure.